on painting number 5 of our forest therapy series, and I'm about to put in the light beams. So what I like to do when I'm putting light beams in is I paint all the far background and like half or most of the midground foliage, and I'm not gonna paint it over here. This is a foreground tree. This is kind of like more midground. I'm gonna kind of try to dodge that one. I don't think the light rays are gonna go over this way too much. But so that's what we're gonna do right now. And I thought I'd share some of this process with you because it's kind of different. I need to make a straight cut here. So I'm using the tape to kind of make sure that my brush strokes are straight and that there's some clean areas that do not have this glaze on it. I'll also share how I'm mixing the glaze. So our sun's going to be here. This glazing process is how I'm going to get a lot of the subtle light differences. And I'm just going to brandish the edge, not the whole thing. This paint has been on since yesterday. It's acrylic, so it's pretty well set. And this masking tape is like a delicate. I think maybe one more. I'm streaming on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. I know it's a lot. Gotta be really steady on this cut. It helps to have the other end of the tape kind of attached to something. I think we'll do this beam here, up on the top. Okay, that looks good. And now you're on Twitch. That's funny. I've got both my chat rooms up. Okay, so to make this glaze, I have these tiny little cups, which helps. And you are gonna want a really soft bristle brush. And I have this soft round that I've been liking using lately. It's this guy. I believe it's a watercolor brush. It's super thick. It's almost like a mop, not quite. So I'm gonna put, I don't know how much water this is. You know, it's like 1/4 of a teaspoon of water in there. And then you're gonna need a clear medium. I'm just using the polymer varnish that I use as a protectant also. You want to make sure there's no lint in here. And then about the same amount of clear medium. So it's about half and half medium to water. Now the next part is going to be kind of touch and go. I am using a golden fluid acrylic zinc white. It's more transparent than titanium white. And I'm going to start with 4 drops. I'm going to mix that together and see how it goes. You're going to want to test this on something else. So that's looking pretty milky, like non-fat milk. You want it to look more like vitamin D milk. At least I do for this application. But you know, you'd rather go too transparent than not transparent enough, because you can always put more layers on. So I've been just testing this on my older business cards. And I think I'm going to put in 2 more drips. Yeah, maybe 3. Now we're looking more like 2% milk. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and test that on my card to see how it goes. That's a bit better. Okay. Start in the middle, and I'm just gonna go very quick strokes along the edges of the tape. I don't want to overlap it too much, and I'm going to want it to dry in between. Coats. So we'll do a really light coat. We'll let it dry, and then I'll come back to that area. Yeah, the tape's primary job is just keep you straight, keep you going along the intended path. And these light rays are meant to be subtle. I think that's where the glow effect comes from. This is the second coat for that area. Second coat for this area. And I can always paint over that foreground tree if I get a little bit on there, which I might be doing. Okay, now I got those really subtle rays on there, I might add, and this is where it's really touch and go, I'm going to add a couple more drips to our remaining glaze. 2, 3. I'm going to bump that opacity a little bit. Now we're looking more like vitamin D, milk. Don't want to go up to heavy cream. That might be, and you know, it really depends on your application, like what you're doing. You could lay it on that thick. Kind of look at the glare to see how dry we are. So I think now we're looking at more like 9 drips of the zinc white. And I'll probably pass over this middle area a couple more times. Now you can really start to see the light rays develop in the trees. But it's good we have the variation in transparency. It's a little bit more subtle. Oops. Now over here I'm going to kind of blend out the edges. I'm going to do that by rinsing out my brush all the way and then kind of blending back some water and then wiping out my brush and kind of soaking up the drips that happen from that. All this underlying paint is set from the day before, so it's not a big deal. Okay, now we're ready to do the tape peel. I'm not worried about letting this dry before doing this. I'll start here. Here it goes. I'll probably use this glaze at least one more time, if not two more times throughout the rest of the process of this painting, which I am hoping on finishing up in the next 2.5 hours. I'm going to continue this painting on Twitch and YouTube and then post it on Instagram later. So thanks for joining in.